What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody because we just hit 172,000 subscribers. So really appreciate you guys being subscribed, showing a lot of love to the videos. My goal is 175, and then from there will be 200K. So we're getting close to the first goal, and then the bigger goal would be nice to see it achieved in 2025, but we'll see. Now, as for this video, we got some updates on the Air Jordan 11 Gamma and the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. Now, also in this video is a lot more from Jordan Brand, including a better look at the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts, and then we have a lot of news from Nike. And now, let's jump into the news. I believe it was in my last video, I talked about the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Year of the Mamba in University Red. Now, a lot of people left comments asking me if I can confirm if the shoes will be, in fact, released exclusively in China. And unfortunately, for those who live outside of China, that will be the case. These are a China exclusive release, which in my opinion is very, very unfortunate because I actually think this is the better colorway of the two. So this will be the pair that probably goes for the most money, unfortunately. So if you live outside of China, you're going to have to pay some resale for them, unless you have a friend over there who could ship them out to you. But yeah, this pair is expected to drop on January 18th, and the retail price will be $200. This is a heads up for everybody who is looking to purchase the upcoming Nike SB Dunk Low Pro B Parachute Beige. They do have a release date, which is for the Sneakers app. So this pair is scheduled to drop on January 24th, and the retail price will be $125. Now, the colorway on this pair is Parachute Beige, Desert Khaki, and White. And the shoes pay tribute to the time before Nike SB was formed in 2002. There was a time where Nike would drop the Pro B model, and it featured some elements that the Nike SB is known for example, a padded tongue. And then eventually the Nike SB line came. So yeah, dropping on January 24th for $125. We have another NOCTA Nike Air Force 1 Low dropping. This pair is known as Pink Foam. Now it kind of follows in the line of the previous Air Force 1 Lows that have dropped, which includes the Pellets Purple and Citron tint pairs. This one has a pastel finish. So the color blocking features pink foam, cobalt tint, and metallic silver. The pair features pink leather across the upper and will come with all of the signature NOCTA branding. Instead of the Air branding on the midsole, it now reads Love You Forever in cursive, and the soles have a translucent finish with the threads being heart shapes. So for now, we only have the one image, and not much more information is available, although they are expected to drop spring 2025, which means a release should be around the corner, and the retail price will be $165. Ja Morant has an upcoming collaboration with Kool-Aid on his latest signature shoe, the Ja 2, which is expected to drop in May. So about a week ago, we received a first look. I just been really backed up on getting all the news out. These videos have been around 40 minutes long each, so I'm trying to cover everything as well. Since I was a bit behind after putting out the 2025 Air Jordan Release Dates Ultimate Guide video, I also did the Black Cat Air Jordan 3 review, and then a January 2025 Nike and Air Jordan Release Dates video. So with all those videos, the news was kind of just sitting there piling up, so this is another pair that needs to be talked about. So as for the colorway, it features bright crimson, flat silver, hyper pink, black, and photo blue. Now the shoes are dressed in a mismatched theme. The left shoe represents blue raspberry, and then the right shoe is for cherry red. So both representing popular flavors from Kool-Aid. One of the coolest parts about this shoe is that it features the Kool-Aid Man on the tongue, and his catchphrase, "Oh yeah," embroidered on the inside of the tongues. Now across the panels, there's a bunch of crack marks, and some of you might remember in the 90s, at least this is when I remembered it, the commercials for the Kool-Aid Man, he would break through those brick walls, and those cracks are to signify that. The shoes also feature splattered details throughout, a quilted heel counter, and then Ja's 12 AM branding is done in the Kool-Aid font. Finishing the look on these is glow-in-the-dark outsoles. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one at the time of recording, but May 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and the retail price will be $130. We have a second Nike KD4 dropping representing his MVP year. This pair is just known as white, or the MVP in white. And of course, it pays tribute to the 2013-14 MVP season. Also nods to his mom, Wanda. Now, the official colorway on these is Summit White, Hyper Royal, and Metallic Gold. Now, one of the unique details about this shoe is that it features a basketball on the tongue, and it kind of looks like the NBA championship trophy. Now, I do know the MVP trophy does come with the basketball as well, and there's a lot of smaller elements that point to his MVP season, specifically his acceptance speech. Now, one thing I do find odd is that during his MVP season, Durant wore the KD6, but they're going to drop 2 pairs of the KD4 as a tribute. Now, I believe that's due to the fact that the KD4 is a more popular model. The KD6 is nice, but personally I like the KD4 a bit better. Now, getting to these unique details, the shoes on the midfoot strap, it reads, "We weren't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You sacrificed for us." And that's not a verbatim quote, but that's very close to what KD said to his mom during the acceptance speech. The insoles and the lace tips also read, "You the real MVP." And then on the inside of the tongues, it has his mother's name, Wanda, and a rose. Also, on the medial side, there's these 2 buckles that connect to the midfoot strap, which read Faith and Love. I think the colorway is really nice on these, and being a tribute to his mom is really dope. And as for the release details, they're going to drop February 16th for $150. So another pair dropping during All-Star Weekend. It's going to be a crazy one this year. And I found out recently, I don't know why I found this out recently, that the All-Star Weekend is going to be in San Francisco. I'm not too far from San Francisco, so I might have to pop in because I've been getting some emails from Foot Locker and they're saying that they have these special events going on as well as some other brands. So maybe this year I'll be out there for the NBA All-Star Game. In 2025, we have a lot of classic Air Max models returning, and one of those is the Nike Air Max Craze in bright citrus. Now, I don't believe the OG colorway was bright citrus. It might have been, they might have changed the colors used, but the overall look resembles the OG pair. Now, this is a cross-training shoe for women that was originally released in 2001. Now, this model is definitely unique, and it kind of has a futuristic look. Now, the official colorway on these is black, bright citrus, white, and platinum tint. It comes with neoprene on the base with a grid and wavy pattern. It also features a zipper shroud, kind of like the Air Max Thunder, and it has a flame-like graphic on the lateral side. Now, what I feel is really unique about this shoe is the heel counter. So it does have a backing on the heel, but it's all exposed. So you can pretty much slip these on and off. I've never worn this shoe, it was a women's shoe, but personally I kind of wonder how the support is on these. But other details includes white with black and bright citrus on the midsole, as well as the rubber outsole with translucent areas. Now, as far as specific release date, at the time of recording, there isn't one, but they are expected to drop in April, and the retail price will be $170. I found out about this shoe returning about 2 months ago, but I never wrote the article or talked about it in a video, and recently this information did start making the rounds. But yes, I can confirm that the Nike Air Max Plus 7 Varsity Maize will return in 2025. Now, this pair originally dropped in 2005, so Nike is celebrating the 20th anniversary of the shoes. Now, as you can see, the pair resembles that of the Air Max Plus quite a bit. Now, some of the biggest differences would include that the upper doesn't feature the TPU overlays like the Air Max Plus, but it has a circular pattern, and by the toe, it almost looks like it's metal dripping. Also, the swoosh is closer to the top 2 eyelets, and then the midsole itself has been slightly modified. Now, the colorway on these is Varsity Maize, white, black, and metallic silver. Shown is the original pair. This is not the upcoming new pair, but they should look like this. I don't know if they'll get the shape on point, but the blocking and everything will be like this pair. Now, as for the release date, they are expected to drop fall 2025, which means a release will take place between July and September, and currently I don't have a retail price. For the third time in the last 5 years, the Nike Air Max 2 CB94 in black and purple will return to retailers. Now, let me get a little bit of a rant off. Don't get me wrong, I really like this shoe, but we've seen the shoe 3 times in the last 5 years, like I stated. There's a few other of Barkley's models that could make a return. I know personally I would love to see the Air CB34 return. I know there's a triple white pair returning. Those are okay, but what I really want to see return is the Godzilla pair. Now, those really need to return, and they should hold off on dropping this pair to bring those back. Now, if you don't own these, then that's dope. This will be a chance for you to purchase. And I believe it was the 2020 release, because that's the first time that they were brought back in recent years, and then again in 2023. But the 2020, people did go crazy for them. I can't recall what people did for the 2023 release. I don't know if they sat or not. Maybe some of you can help me out in the comment section below. But this is also an OG colorway that was first dropped in 1994. Now, what's interesting about the 2025 release is that it features the same style code as the 2020. I'm not sure if that makes a big of a difference to anybody, but wanted to make note of that. And the colorway on these will be black, pure purple, and white. So they're expected to return in summer 2025, which means the release will take place between April and June, and the retail price will be $170. Another Nike Air Max 2 CB94 returning in the summer is the Suns pair. Now, I'm not as mad about this pair returning just because this will be the second time that they've retroed in the last 5 years. And yes, I'm not going to lie, I missed out on this pair when they dropped back in 2022. But still, I would much rather see the Air CB34 Godzilla make a return. Now, the official colorway on these is white, varsity purple, black, and total orange. Now, this isn't an OG colorway. Although the model originally released in 1994, from everything I looked for and gathered, they first dropped in 2022. Now, I could be wrong on that, so let me know down below. Now, one of the unique details about this pair is Charles Barkley's number 34 embroidered on the lateral side. It kind of gives this pair a PE feel. Also, the style code used on the 2025 pair is the exact same as the 2022, so they should look just like this, although the images used is of the 2022 release. So again, expected to drop summer 2025, and the retail price will be $170. We have another classic Nike Air Max Plus returning. This one is known as Eclair, also nicknamed Lightning. Now, although this isn't an OG colorway, it's an older colorway that was first released in the year 2000. So celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2025, and the images used is the 2025 pair, so they do look pretty close to the original release. Now, the pair features a midnight navy, salsa red, white, metallic silver, and clear colorway. Now, what stands out the most about this pair is the shades of blue and white on the panels, toe, and tongue, forming lightning. Now, as for the backdrop, it has a navy shade, and the TPU overlays are clear. Navy also runs across the suede mudguard, and then we'll have red placed within the Air Max unit. It also gradients across the midfoot shank plate. And for those that don't know, I'm a bit on the older side, so in the year 2000, I was in high school, and I do remember people wearing this shoe, and just thought how dope they were because of the lightning running throughout. So for me, this is a definite pickup. I'm actually pretty excited about them returning. I don't know if a lot of you will actually care. Maybe some of you. I know there's a good amount that are big Air Max fans. But as for the release date, they are expected to drop summer 2025. Now, I've heard May, but I don't have 100% confirmation on that. And the retail price will be $180. I think the Nike Air 180 is in my top 10 favorite Nike models, and we got another OG colorway returning. Now, this pair is known as Bluebird, and for the first time, they will be re-released. Now, they originally dropped in 1991 as a women's exclusive. Now, the 2025 pair, I haven't seen any indication that'll be a women's exclusive. So this time around, when they re-release, they'll be available in men's sizing. Now, the official colorway on these is white, medium blue, and clear jade 2. The images used is of the 2025 pair. It's not the OG. If they were, they would be in a lot worse shape. The midsoles would probably be all cracked. But to go over the shoes, it comes with this off-white suede on the overlays, and then we have white nylon across the base. Blue then fills in the swoosh logos, liner, and the toe cap, while jade hits the tongue branding, wraps around the heel, and is placed within the Air unit. Other details includes blue Nike Air branding on the heels, a white midsole, and black and jade on the rubber outsole. I'm definitely excited about this pair returning. And as of now, we don't have a specific release date, but spring 2025 is when they're expected to drop. So it appears that a release is just around the corner, and the retail price will be $150. The release date for the Riot Skate Shop Nike SB Dunk Low for the Nike Sneakers app has been officially announced for January 21st. This is another dope shoe dropping this month. January does have a decent amount of shoes. Typically it's like a slow month, but from Nike and Jordan brand, there have been some decent drops. This is a nice pair, but it's probably something I'm going to have to pass on just because there's so many drops in February. And my top 2 priorities for this month is the Air Tech Challenge 2 Racer Pink, which I did obtain. A video of those will be going out tomorrow, a short video that is. And then the Air Diamond Turf, I need those. But maybe down the road. But for this pair, they feature a mahogany, deep beetroot, team red, cell, and night maroon colorway. Now, as far as skate shops go, these should drop before they drop on the sneakers app at select skate shops. I'm not sure exactly how it's being distributed at this point, but I'll try to look around, ask around as well, see if I can find any information. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Do you plan on picking them up or are you passing? This is a shoe that I really can't wait to be released. It's the Hayley Wilson Nike SB Dunk Low collaboration, and recently we received some on-feet photos. Now this pair features a court purple, white, black, and lagoon pulse colorway. And I said this before, but it reminds me of the Skeletor Nike SB Dunk Low, and I personally don't have the money to go and buy those. Those are over $1,000 last I checked for a brand new pair. So these, for me, will definitely have to do. Call me crazy, but I think this is the best Nike SB Team Rider collaboration dropping in 2025. I really like the Utos as well, but these top them. In my opinion, at least. You can always let me know yours down below. Also, on a side note, they do remind me of the Heaven's Gate sample. Yes, those are connected to the cult. They were supposed to drop, but when Nike found out the inspiration for the shoes, they decided to scrap it and they weren't having it. But as you can see, it features purple suede on the overlays. We have black on the base and the swooshes. And then white outlines the swoosh, is also placed on the toe box and midsole. And we also have Hayley Wilson's name on the tongue. The Nike SB branding throughout has like this OG tattoo inspired like font. And the same style is used on the insoles, but the insoles feature a bunch of different stuff like a scorpion, it looks like stars, a spider web, some roses, Nike SB and Hayley Wilson branding. I'll make sure to include an image in this video, but it does seem that the inspiration for this pair is also tattoos. And then of course we have a blue tint on the translucent outsole and more graphics inspired by OG tattoos. For me, this is a definite pickup. Gosh, there's so many shoes in 2025 that I want to pick up. I know some of these aren't actually going to be picked up by me because financially, I don't have the funds for it, and I wish I did. But this pair is going to drop summer 2025, and the retail price is $135. Let me know your thoughts on this pair down in the comment section below. Moving on to Jordan brand, and we have a new Air Jordan 1 Mule Golf dropping. This pair is known as Chicago because, of course, it features the classic Chicago color blocking. Now, I understand this pair isn't going to be for everybody, but I did want to include it. And the official colorway on these is white, varsity red, and black. So since it's a mule, it allows you to easily slip them on or off. I don't really golf myself, but I think personally, I would see myself wearing an actual shoe versus a mule. I feel like you do a lot of walking. I understand you can have the carts and things like that, but I don't know, that's just me. But it does feature the classic color blocking, so that may get some people excited about them. And as for the release date, they are scheduled to drop on January 17th, and the retail price will be $110. Official images popped up of the Air Jordan 5 Earth. However, they're actually being called Golden Ticket. So I'm going to read from Nike Sneakers, and it's really, really cheesy in my opinion, but I'm going to read it so it gives a little bit of information why they're being called Golden Ticket. but it reads, "From the hoops trophies in your bedroom to seeking the ultimate championship prize, the Air Jordan 5 brings inspiration to hoopers of all ages. A chocolate-hued midsole pairs with a glossy golden tongue to help you punch your ticket to the extraordinary, where your wildest dreams become reality. The mix of cell leather, earth accents, and gleaming metallic gold finishes are a bold reimagining of MJ's cloud-chasing classic from 1990. Complete with signature lace locks, a semi-translucent outsole, and Jumpman branding, your golden ticket awaits." Yeah, they're definitely on another level with their writing over there. I feel like it's a mixture of ChatGPT and, I don't know, something else. But basically, these are being called Golden Ticket. I don't know if the nickname, the inspiration may change your mind about them. Maybe you want them now, maybe you don't. But I did want to fill you in on that. These are also a women's exclusive, and they're still scheduled to drop on January 22nd, and the retail price will be $200. In this video, we have a few sets of official photos that I just wanted to briefly go over and showcase them, but the second set is the Air Jordan 5 Year of the Snake. Now, these have yet to pop up on the sneakers app. We have the Year of the Snake Air Jordan 1 Low OG and the Air Jordan 11 Low, but these have yet to pop up. I'm not sure if they're going to be delayed or if they're eventually going to show up, but at the time of recording, they're just not there. Now, the retail price was originally supposed to be $200. However, I don't think they're going to be $200 because the Year of the Snake Air Jordan 11 Low, the retail price has increased, as well as the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So although originally expected to be $200, I wouldn't be surprised if these were $210 or even $220. But yeah, just wanted to show off the official photos. And as of now, they are scheduled to drop on January 23rd, but it's possible they could get delayed. Next, we have official images of the Air Jordan 11 Low Year of the Snake. Now, when I initially did my January 2025 release dates video, a lot of people seemed to be excited about this shoe. However, the biggest drawback was the retail price. Initially, they were supposed to be $190. Back months ago on the sheet that I received, I saw that they were $190. However, it's a different story now that they're uploaded on the sneakers app, and the retail price is $210. So it's a $20 increase. Do I personally think it's worth it? No. But it does depend if you really like the shoes. If you like them a lot, then sure, the extra $20 doesn't mean much. But for me, although I think they're dope, it's just not something that I really need or want. Plus the $20 on top of that, what I initially thought was going to be $190, just kind of makes me really not want them anymore. But again, that's just my opinion. They're still a cool shoe. I think the iridescent detailing on the mudguard is nice. The smooth leather on the upper is also nice. But yeah, all I've seen so far is that they're going to be released on the sneakers app. I haven't seen them pop up at any other retailers yet. And these are locked in to drop on January 23rd. And like I mentioned, the retail price is $210. A couple days ago, we received a first look at the Air Jordan 4 Aluminum. Now, the name has changed on those, and initially they were called Aluminum due to the colorway, but what they're now being called is the Air Jordan 4 Forget Me Not. Now, the color blocking on these is pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. They feature a white, aluminum, blue tint, and oil green colorway. Now, what stands out the most about this shoe is that it has various flowers like daisies and stuff like that attached to the laces. Now, it looks like you could just take the laces off and maybe slide the flowers off, but we don't have a ton of photos, so I can't 100% tell if that is the case. They might even clip on. So by removing them, I feel like it gives it an overall cleaner look. But hey, some of you might like the flowers, and if that's the case, you can definitely keep them. But as for the overall look, the pair features white leather on the upper with blue underneath the mesh, as well as across the TPU wings, heel tabs, liner, and the Jumpman on the tongues. Now, we do have some oil green, which fills in the midsole, as well as it accents the rubber outsole. And that's like a really, really faint green. You can more so tell on the outsole. And also on the outsole is a mixture of white and blue. I do like this shade of blue used. I'm a big fan of it. If I picked them up, if I saw them on sale or something, I definitely would remove the flowers. But as for the release details, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on May 3rd, and the retail price will be $215. Also, they'll drop in preschool sizes for $100, and toddler sizes will cost $85. Okay, so this is kind of a reminder about the upcoming Air Jordan 1 High OG Black Toe Reimagined. Now, back in October, I talked about the release date, and I told you guys, although February 1st was going around, I was told by my sources that the shoes were actually going to drop on February 15th. Now, for some reason last week, this information started to circulate once again, and before that, everybody was saying February 1st, but now they're starting to change to February 15th, but this is just a heads up that I was told February 15th, and that's a day after the Air Jordan 1 High 85 bread pair releases. On a side note, yes, those are going to be a quick strike, so they will be on the limited side. And some of you might have noticed for those, Jordan Brand is slowly building the hype for them. I know recently Carmelo Anthony was spotted wearing the shoes, as well as they recently signed some K-pop guy. I don't remember his name, but he was wearing them as well. And of course, they dropped a campaign to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Air Jordan 1 and just the overall Air Jordan line starting. It was like this short form video, which was pretty cool. I would share it, but I don't know if they'll copyright strike me, so unfortunately I can't. But this will be the runner-up prize. If you don't hit on the bread pair, this will be available the next day. And that's kind of what they're banking on, because this shoe is going to be a mass GR. I know some people have been asking if the release has been canceled. No, it hasn't. It's just been delayed multiple times. And the release will be here sooner rather than later. But one thing I will say about the shoes, having them in hand for close to 3 months now, yes, I'd still need to do a review on them. I haven't yet. But the quality on them is pretty nice. The overall look, the feel, it looks great. I'm actually a big fan of them. And I know a lot of you probably have already picked them up because they've been available at reseller sites for a while. And I last checked, it wasn't too high. But yeah, I think a lot of you who don't have them that do plan on picking them up on February 15th, you'll like them. Also, the retail price on these is $180 in men's sizing. They'll also drop in grade school sizes for $140. Preschool will cost $85, and toddler sizes will cost $70. A short video recently popped up of the upcoming Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray release, which not only shows us another look at the shoes, but the packaging. Now, we did receive a first look at the Air Jordan 9 Cool Gray, the 2025 pair, somewhat recently, and I believe images leaked from JD Sports. Since then, we haven't really seen much new images, and this video popped up, so I thought, hey, why not share it in the upcoming news video? But I'm sure very soon we're going to start getting a bunch of new images of this shoe, so we'll have like a really good detailed look. One thing I thought was pretty dope about this pair is that it comes in the OG box, but instead of black, it'll be in gray. In my opinion, that makes it a lot easier to find a shoe when they're not all one style of retro boxes. There was a period of time where that's all Jordan Brand was releasing. Every single Air Jordan Retro would come in the same standard box. And yeah, I think that's pretty dope. But another positive thing about this pair is that they updated the shape, which they've done on several Air Jordan 9 releases. I believe they updated the shape on the powder blue Air Jordan 9. That was the first one. And then we saw it on the olive pair, and now we're seeing it on the cool gray. Also, to run down a little bit of history, I won't talk too long about it. This isn't an OG colorway, but it was dropped in 2002. And what's interesting is that Michael Jordan wore this pair while playing for the Washington Wizards. Back when they dropped in 94, the model, not the colorway, Jordan wasn't playing basketball, but he did have some Air Jordan 9 cleats that he would wear. Other than that, we saw another retro take place in 2012. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The shape on those were really bad. And then the upcoming release will take place in 2025. So specifically, this pair is going to drop on March 15th, and the retail price is $210. I've been a fan of the Air Jordan 9 just for the overall fact of that they updated the shape. It makes it look closer to the OG, in my opinion, from what we have been getting. So for me, I'm probably going to pick these up. I may wait to see if they go on sale. Let me know your thoughts down below. This is another pair that I do see some people excited for, and that's the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Shorts. Now, initially people were excited for them, but we received a first look, and the shade of blue used seemed very dark. And that did make some people upset. They didn't like the look. However, we do have new images, and the shade of blue is a bit brighter in these photos. Now, it's not super vibrant and bright, but it's brighter than what we saw prior to. Also, just a heads up, if the shape looks a little bit off to you, this is a grade school pair. But more so, I wanted to showcase it because it gives us not only a better look, but it's a better example of what the shade of blue will be. Now, one thing I do like about this shoe, and traditionally I don't like this, is that it doesn't have elephant print around the toe and heel. It has suede. Now, the suede isn't all rough and hairy and things like that. It's like a smoother suede. I know A Ma Maniére is known to have this roughed up suede, and sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But this looks pretty clean in my opinion. Now, would they have looked better with elephant print? Probably. But overall, I'm happy with the look. I think the shade of blue is pretty solid, especially compared to what we initially saw. Now, for those who don't know, this pair is inspired by Michael Jordan's lucky shorts that he wore. He wore his UNC practice shorts beneath his professional uniform. This is a tradition that he started back in college, and he wore them while playing for the Chicago Bulls. Now, the official colorway on these is white, hydrogen blue, legend blue, photon dust, pure platinum, and cell. Another thing that I've noticed some people aren't fans of is cell used on the midsole. It kind of gives that aged look. And one thing I will state is that not every sneaker needs to have the aged look. I know I've said that before, but just wanted to say it again. Now, as for the release date, these got moved up. So initially they were supposed to drop on March 29th. However, they're now going to drop on February 22nd. So just after All-Star Weekend, we got a lot of drops during All-Star Weekend, and then a week after we got these. I don't know if that's such a good idea to move them forward, but if you're a fan of them, they shouldn't be too hard to obtain. They're going to be a GR. They're going to be available pretty much everywhere. And they'll also drop in full family sizing. So we have men's priced at $200, grade school cost $150, preschool is priced at $90, and toddler sizes will cost $75. We have a release date change for the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. So initially, they were supposed to drop in April, specifically on April 30th, but now they have been delayed until June. Just a heads up, the images used is not the 2025 release. This is the OG release from 2014. Now, we should be getting a first look very, very soon. Now, I have seen some images going around, people claiming that it is a first look, but those are 100% fake. No one has also picked up on them as well. Now, being a big Jordan 14 guy, this is a shoe that I have not owned. I was going through a little rut in 2014 where I was like, I'm not buying sneakers. I'm tired of them. Although I've always loved this shoe and really wanted them, I refused to buy them. And during that time, there were a lot of fakes that were getting passed off of this shoe as real. And it was really hard to determine what was real and what was fake. And I definitely wasn't going to pay resale prices for a shoe that could have been fake. So I always passed on them. But I do plan on picking up the 2014 release this year. And of course, I'm going to do a comparison with the 2025. You can 100% expect that. And when these were initially released in 2014, they first dropped in Chicago. And then about a month later, we saw a wider release. The Ferrari series spawned multiple pairs of the Air Jordan 14. For example, we had the black Ferrari, the reverse Ferrari, and of course the OG pair, which is this. Now, as for the new release date, this pair is scheduled to drop on June 11th. They'll also be available in men's and grade school sizes. Now, I don't know the retail price in grade school just yet, but the retail price in men's will be $210. Now, these will be on the limited side. They're not a quick strike or anything like that. It's just that traditionally, Jordan brand produces less pairs of the Air Jordan 14 because it's not a model that everybody loves. Yes, there's a good amount of people who do like this model, but if you're comparing to the Air Jordan 4, the Air Jordan 3, or even the Air Jordan 1, people love those shoes. This one will get overlooked. However, when the 14 does drop, it seems that they don't go on sale that often. And that's, of course, because they produce less pairs. But anyways, let me know if you plan on picking up the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. For me, definitely one pair, possibly two. Maybe not two because I'm going to go pick up the 2014 release. So about a month ago, I made the announcement along with Z Sneakerhead Z that the Air Jordan 11 Gamma would return during the holiday 2025 season. Now, when I made the announcement, I didn't know the release date, but when I did my 2025 Air Jordan release dates ultimate guide video, there was a release date. I did talk about it there, and I was thinking that not everybody watches those ultimate guide or those longer videos, so I wanted to include the information in a separate video, a news video, where more people will learn about it and know about it. But yes, they will drop in December, specifically on December 13th. So we have about 11 months before these release. I think I did the math right there. So they're not going to drop for some time, but the images that I'm going to use is a mock-up representing what the 2025 pair should look like, and then I'm going to use photos of the original release. So these were released in 2013, and over the past maybe 3 to 4 years, people have asked for this shoe to return, and it does appear to me that Jordan Brand has been listening, because they had an entirely different shoe planned for the holiday 2025 season. It was black, gray, and red. There was mock-ups going around that weren't exactly like they were supposed to be released. Some of them were closer than others, and the main difference between the 2025 and the 2013 release will be that the 2025, the overall shape, will be closer to the OG. It'll feature higher cut patent leather as well as peaks. But overall, the blocking and everything that everybody loves about the Gamma Blue Air Jordan 11 will stay the same. Now this year we have multiple Air Jordan 11 releases. Not only do we have the Gamma returning, we have a new pair known as Rare Air dropping, and I did put a mock-up of that out, but it was just a mock-up. I'm not sure how they're going to look, but it will be part of the Rare Air series. There's also another Air Jordan 11 dropping, this one in women's sizing, and they're known as Cell. I put out a mock-up on those as well, but again, it's only a mock-up. I'm not sure how they're going to look just yet. But yeah, these will drop on December 13th. The retail price will be $230. Also, they will be available in full family sizing. It's just that at the time of recording, I don't have the retail price breakdown just yet. And yes, they're going to be a GR. They're not going to be limited. Pretty much every retailer will have them. This will be a super easy to pick up pair. Well, I shouldn't say super easy because there is some hype, but they make so many pairs that it does make it a lot easier to obtain. I personally feel like people are going to go after these more than the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. Those are still sitting at places. I'm seeing them online as well as in store. These, in my opinion, will go faster than those. Although I do like the Legend Blue over these more just because it's an OG. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down below. And let me know in December if you plan on picking this pair up. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, as for upcoming videos this week, of course, there's going to be another news video, and I'm going to drop a couple shorts. At least 2 of sneakers that I do have in hand right now. I've already recorded them. And then another short that I plan on dropping is kind of like the every Air Jordan 4 dropping in 2025 video, which a lot of people seem to enjoy. I'm eventually going to do for the 1s, the 3s, the 5s, the 11s. Unfortunately, I can't do it for the 7s. But pretty much every Air Jordan that is dropping in 2025, they'll have a short for. Now, there might be a few I combine, for example, the 8 and 9 or the 9 and 10, because there's only a couple of each dropping. And then I'm going to move to Nike as well. I'm going to do Foamposites, I'm going to do Dion's, SBs, and stuff like that. I know I've been getting a lot of questions asking if I'm going to do it for this shoe and this shoe, and yes, I'm going to cover every shoe. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.